So Mike, talk to the mission of the organization, right? The 16 counties, the
Right.
width and breadth, and then really the top initiatives of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, the Greater Minneapolis Saint Paul Regional Economic Development Partnership, which we call Greater MSP, has a vision that's a vision shared by both public, private, and institutional leaders in this region who have come together to create this partnership. And that vision is that this region will be recognized globally as a globally leading economy, a globally leading region. So with that vision, the mission of the organization then is to make that happen is to increase capital investment in the region, and ultimately from that increased capital investment create more jobs so that we're a very prosperous region. We want to say that business and people prosper here. That's what we do. The mission then is to increase capital investment, create jobs. How we execute that mission is very simple, 3 things. First, have a strategy for how that's going to occur. Understand where to compete and how to compete. In other words, what industry sectors, what clusters of activity are going to be growing in the future so that we know that we're aiming our efforts in the right direction from a strategic standpoint. Second, once we have that strategy and we know where to compete and how to compete, have the marketing and sales resources to actually execute on that strategy, to tell our story effectively. The third function of the organization is once that strategy has led to that marketing and then we've actually received leads, prospects, and projects that we can work, to be the organization in our region to coordinate that activity, to be the one customer-facing public-private partnership that makes it easy for an investor, either in the region already or one coming here, to get through their decision process quickly and effectively and make an investment decision that adds capital investment to this region and creates more jobs. So strategy, marketing, and project management is a function of our organization.
Look at it right now. How competitive is Minnesota when someone's looking to invest, right? And they're coming into the Midwest, and we're competing with Wisconsin, the Dakotas,
Sure.
Iowa, whatever.
Yep.
In your mind today, how successful have you been? How's it going? What percentage win do we have?
Sure. The Minneapolis Saint Paul region is one of the most competitive regions in the country. And the primary reason that we are so competitive is the talented workforce that we have here. The first question I'm asked by any company, whether they're here or whether they're interested in investing here, is do you have the quantity and quality of human capital that I need for my company to grow and prosper? And if we can answer that question in the affirmative, then all the other things can fall into place. But if we can't provide that company with the talent that they need for their company, then we're not going to win. Fortunately, our results are good. The brain power report just came out. We're ranked in the top 10. I think 102 regions that are looked at. We're definitely in the top 10. We're in the top 5 on some of those parameters. So that is our biggest strength, and that's our biggest competitive advantage, is the talented workforce. We are a very welcoming community. We're much more diverse than people think we are, and there's a progressive nature about this place that is where our youth and our millennials and our young professionals want us to be as a community. The other assets that we have in culture and the arts and recreation, you know, we could go on and on. We're highly ranked in all of those areas, and you know, tops in the country and tops in the world in some cases around arts and culture and recreation. So those are, we don't sell the quality of life, but once you look at the regional assets that are here, if you're a business person, you're saying, what are the assets I'm investing in? You see very quickly that so many of those assets are to support that acquisition of that talent, but to keep that talent there, you have to have a great place.
So I was in a meeting about a month ago in another city in the Midwest, and a group of executives were in a panel discussion. One of the big things they talked about was, this was a technology-focused discussion, but it was the quantity of jobs that are coming in technology over the next 10 to 15 years. Yeah. And their mission of driving down even in the elementary schools and getting kids interested in the sciences and math, hoping to show that, hey, technology just isn't, you know, geeks in a cube. It's a big world, and trying to get these kids interested in that. And then it led to, can we retain them?
Yeah.
So we want to train them, but we got to retain them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem, this is outside looking in, you know the data, it seems like Minnesota has done a really good job with retention. People that grow up here, go to high school here, go to college elsewhere, they come back, or they stay right here. Has that been your case?
Statistically, you can spin it either way. We are here. I'll give you kind of a negative spin first. We're a net exporter of talent in Minnesota. Okay, that sounds bad, but when you start looking under the covers, what that really means is we have huge amount of folks from all over the country and the world that come here to study. So we're actually training and educating more people than we can absorb in any one particular year in our economy. So, you know, we have more people leaving than we'd like because we can't absorb them all at one time. However, that's an asset to us. If we can convince a few more people to stay, then it's obviously going to help our economy grow even faster.
I had to pick a couple of challenges. What isn't going great? What would you could draw it up? What would be going better?
Well, you know, we have 4 robust seasons in our economy, and you know, here we're doing this interview in February of 2014. It's been a cold winter. You know, so one of our challenges is always, gee, you know, it's a colder environment. Do I really want to be there in a cold environment all the time? Well, you know, most of the year, people don't realize most of the year it's not a cold environment here. We have more golf courses per capita than any region in America. This is a great recreational place year-round. We find that a robust economy and a robust winter economy is one that takes advantage of the winter activities. Polaris, for instance, is headquartered here, right? Polaris is doing great. If you look at their stock, if you look at that company's growth, it's growing because they have great products that serve a marketplace and a recreational community that loves all 4 seasons. So we take advantage of those things.
Your kid comes to you and says, hey, I need to figure out, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm going to do something in the greater MSP area.
Right.
Want to start something up. Where would you point them?
Food, water, and health. I mean, again, those 3 big 3. You know, we're seeing a lot of both startup and movement into our region around those 3 areas. Clearly, probably our most mature cluster of technology here is in the medical devices area. If I were, you know, a scientific entrepreneur, I would certainly be looking in med device, health IT, another cross-cutting between healthcare and information technology, where we've always had a strong base here in our region. So health IT is going to be a huge growth area for entrepreneurial activities as well. Water technologies, I mean, one of the biggest challenges the world's going to face. And there's a lot of activity here around water tech. And then of course, as I said, the food side. Probably one of the strongest verticals we have, from seed to production to distribution to sales and marketing and retailing of food products. Always opportunities there, and especially in the creatives and the business services that surround those verticals. Think about it: legal services, financial services, professional services, consulting, printing and publishing, marketing, PR, IT. All of those service areas are opportunities for entrepreneurial growth.
If there was one thing that you wish they all understood, what would that be?
We are a globally leading economy, that we are much stronger than we tend to think we are. We tend to be very modest, and in Minnesota, we don't like to brag. It's okay to tell people what a great place this is. We should be more forthright about it. Right.
And I think you're right, people downplay it, they don't have to.
Right. There's an app for that. It's called the Greater MSP app. You can download it for free. It'll tell you all the great things about our region.
Very good. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Keith.